Hello, everyone. I am JoeHova. Welcome to 16 Personalities. Now, this was something I ran across kind of by accident. So, it's a personality quiz you can do online. You can see the web address up at the top of the page. I've already done this once, and I came through as what's called a campaigner. I read the whole deal, and as I'm going through it, it kind of felt like, um, astrology. Really, it was like you're an Aries, and this is what Aries believe, and all these things. And I'm susceptible to all those things. I like that stuff a lot. So let's just dive into this. I don't necessarily believe that it's science or not science or whatever. I'm kind of in the middle of the road. So I want to go through this because I want to see if I take this again, if I'm going to get the same thing, right? This is a computer. It's based on the answers that you're going to give it, and it's going to slot you into a category. And then they have these predetermined things, these generalities that they write about stuff to make you feel like, oh, it's talking about me. But I still want to see how close I can get to the other one. And I'm going to answer it honestly. I don't remember the original questions at all. So you go here and take the test. So it's a free personality test, right? And it says, be yourself, answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer, and complete it all. Try not to leave any neutral answers. Okay. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. I totally do. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. Yeah, actually, I do. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough idea than a detailed. Yes, of course it is. You often think about what you should have said in conversations long. Yeah, of course. I can't let that stuff go. If your friend is sad about something, you first instinct to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. That's a tough one because I do want to support people emotionally, but I totally try to solve their problems. So I'm going to say I disagree a little. People can rarely upset you. Yeah, people don't. I'm going to say, okay, sometimes people can. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start conversation. No way. I'm always the starter. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold to make sure it's your top priority to get back on track, no. Forget about shit. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. No, I strongly disagree. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend by yourself without. Nope. You are more of a detail-oriented person than a big picture. Nope. I'm big picture. You are often affectionate with people you care about, of course. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. Nope. You are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. Yes, I am. I write music about it. All parties and similar events, you can mostly be found further away from the action. No. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. No. But I'm not going to strongly disagree. Because some people that let their emotions guide them are fucking fanatics. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the category. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to strongly agree to that one. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Yeah, I can. Actually go into like a shutdown mode almost. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into the conversation. Agreed. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. Not always, but often. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on other people to get ahead in life. Oh, man. This is going to make me sound like a prick, but yeah. If you dedicated and focused on your goals, you know what? Not so much. I mean, sometimes you have to do it. I don't want to step on other people. And this is tough. Answer honestly. I think there are times when it is a competition in capitalism, and sometimes you have to to get ahead. You don't want to destroy somebody or talk shit about them or tell lies. See, this is a tough one right here. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. I'm trying to think of people that I've stepped on. This part that it's okay is what's throwing me. Whether I'll do it or not, I will do things that I don't think are okay. I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, because I'm a prick. I'm an asshole sometimes, and that sucks. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. Strongly disagree. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself or abilities of your knowledge. A little bit, but not really. I do start doubting myself. God. But I don't. Sometimes I do. Okay, I'm just going to leave that. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people, mostly talk to the ones you already know. False. I try to seek out new people. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. Disagree. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. Strongly agree. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to a more quiet, intimate ones. Yep. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world... Yep. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. Absolutely. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. I'm going to disagree slightly with that. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. Strongly disagree. You often make decisions on a whim. Yep. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting, satisfying than the time you spend with other people. Okay, because I'm an egomaniac, I'm going to say just a little bit. You often put special efforts into interpreting the real meaning of messages. Yes, of course. You always know exactly what you want. No, not always. You rarely think back on choices you made and wonder what... No, I totally do that. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. Disagree. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. Disagree. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Totally disagree. I totally understand people's feelings. That's what I look for. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. Let me think about that. I kind of go with the flow. Slightly disagree with that. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will become yes, before they become disappointed. Absolutely. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting. Yep, striking up a conversation. You often drift away into daydreams about various ideas and scenarios. Yeah, I do that. You look after yourself first and others come second. Yeah, I'm a selfish asshole. I don't like to be, but that's an honest truth. Unfortunately, I'm working on that. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, usually just into what you feel like at the moment. Yes. Your mood can change very quickly. Yep. You often contemplate the reason for human existence or the meaning of life, of course. You often talk about your feelings and emotions. Yes, I do. I write songs about it. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years in the future. Nope. You rarely dwell on regrets. I often dwell on regrets. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Not drained, but that does happen sometimes. That's my social anxiety stuff. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. Of course I do. I'm an egomaniac. You find it easy to empathize with a person who's gone through something you never have. I do. I try. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy. Yep, totally is. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Yeah, they do. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. I like it quiet a little bit when I'm drained. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancements... Yes, I do. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. I do, but I usually don't change my actions based on that. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. Yeah, I try. You rarely feel insecure. Oh, I always feel insecure. All right. Damn. It was the same one. A campaigner. Huh. Okay, so, listen. I know it's a computer. I'm not going to call this science, but at least I did run it through twice, and I did come up with the same result. Now, if you do this scientifically, of course, you're going to have to do this, 1,000 times to see it, the actual possibilities. And I think honestly, this would be hard to do because eventually I'm going to get used to the questions, right? So that was the kind of second time I went through it. And I didn't really remember. I was just doing it quickly. But I'm more of an extrovert. I'm intuitive rather than observant. It's true. Emotions over thinking, prospecting over judging, turbulent rather than assertive in my identity. So now I can start reading what this is all about, right? So it doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, or for the adventure of being alive. The campaigner's personality is a true free spirit. They are often the life of the party. But unlike types in the explorer role group, campaigners are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are in enjoying the social and emotional connections they make with others. Charming, independent, energetic, and compassionate. The 7% of the population that they comprise can certainly be felt in any crowd. So I'm 7% of the population. That feeling of being an outsider, yeah, that's always been there. So again, I'm going to agree with a lot of this stuff, and you take it for what it's worth. And I would suggest, hey, go to this site and do it for yourself. I'm always looking at the angle, what are they trying to sell me? And we'll get there. You can change the world with just an idea. More than just sociable people pleasers, though, campaigners, like all their diplomat cousins, are shaped by their intuitive quality, allowing them to read between the lines with curiosity and energy. They tend to see life as a big, complex puzzle where everything is connected. But unlike analytic personality types, who tend to see that puzzle as a series of systematic machinations, campaigners see it through a prism of emotion, compassion, and mysticism, and are always looking for a deeper meaning. I have a friend of mine that always says I'm a mystic as an insult. Campaigners are fiercely independent, and much more than stability and security, they crave creativity and freedom. That's true. Many other types are likely to find these qualities irresistible, and if they found a cause that sparks their imaginations, campaigners will bring an energy that oftentimes thrusts them into the spotlight, held up by their peers as a leader and a guru. But this isn't always where independent, loving campaigners want to be. Worse still, if they find themselves beset by the administrative tasks and routine maintenance that can accompany a leadership position, campaigner self-esteem is dependent on their ability to come up with original solutions, and they need to know that they have the freedom to be innovative. They can quickly lose patience or become dejected if they get trapped in a boring role. If anything ever summed me up, it's pretty much right there. But again, it's generalities. I know that, okay? I'm not putting this forward as hard science, but it's interesting. Don't lose that little spark of madness. Luckily, campaigners know how to relax, and they're perfectly capable of switching from a passionate, driven idealist in the workplace to that imaginative and enthusiastic free spirit on the dance floor, often with a suddenness that can surprise even their closest friends. Being in the mix also gives them a chance to connect emotionally with others, giving them the cherished insight into what motivates their friends and colleagues. They believe that everyone should take the time to recognize and express their feelings, and their empathy and sociability, make that a natural conversation topic. The campaigner personality type needs to be careful, however. If they rely too much on their intuition, assume or anticipate too much about a friend's motivations, they can misread the signals and frustrate plans that a more straightforward approach would have made simple. This kind of social stress is the bugbear that keeps harmony-focused diplomats awake at night. Campaigners are very emotional and sensitive, and when they step on someone's toes, they both feel it. Campaigners will spend a lot of time exploring social relationships, feelings, and ideas before they find something that they really rings true. But when they finally do find their place in the world, their imagination, empathy, and courage are likely to produce incredible results. So now, campaigners you may know: Robert Downey Jr., Kim Nam-joon, Robin Williams, Will Smith. Okay, I'm not going to go through here and make myself feel better by comparing myself to other people. Strengths and weaknesses. All right, first the strengths. Curious. When it comes to new ideas, campaigners aren't interested in brooding. They want to go out and experience things and don't hesitate to step out of their comfort zones to do so. Campaigners are imaginative and open-minded, seeing all things as part of a big, mysterious puzzle called life. Observant, campaigners believe that there are no irrelevant actions, that every shift in sentiment, every move and every idea is part of something bigger. To satisfy their curiosity, campaigners try to notice all of these things and never miss a moment. It's true. As they observe forming new connections and ideas, campaigners won't hold their tongues. They're excited about their findings and share them with anyone who will listen. This infectious enthusiasm has the dual benefit of giving campaigners a chance to make more social connections and giving them a new source of information and experience as they fit their new friends' opinions into their existing ideas. This is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm putting this on YouTube so that I can get some comments from you guys and see what your ideas are about this. But again, that's a general statement. It's a good thing that campaigners have such strong people skills, or they never express these ideas. Campaigners enjoy both small talk and deep, meaningful conversations, which are just two sides of the same coin for them. And they're adept at steering conversations toward their desired subjects in ways that feel completely natural and unforced. It's not all nature of the cosmos discussions with campaigners. People with this personality type know that sometimes nothing is as important as simply having fun and experiencing life's joys. That intuitive trait lets campaigners know that it's time to shake things up, and these wild bursts of enthusiastic energy can surprise even their closest friends. All this adaptability and spontaneity comes together to form a person who is approachable, interesting, and exciting, with a cooperative and altruistic spirit and friendly, empathic disposition. Campaigners get along with pretty much everyone, and their circle of friends stretch far and wide. Okay, so what about my weaknesses? When it comes to conceiving ideas and starting projects, especially involving other people, campaigners have exceptional talent. Unfortunately, their skill with upkeep, administration, and follow-through on these projects struggles. Without more hands-on people to help push day-to-day things along, campaigners' ideas are likely to remain just that, ideas. That is true. I'm a good starter at things, and I do struggle with finishing things up. That's why my marriage works so well. My wife is a finisher, and it works for us. Campaigners are natural explorers of interpersonal connections and philosophy, but this backfires when what needs to be done is the TPS reporting sitting right there in front of them. It's hard for campaigners to maintain interest as tasks drift toward routine, administrative matters, and far away from broader concepts. That's true. Campaigners don't take things at face value. They look for underlying motives in even the simplest things. It's not uncommon for campaigners to lose a bit of sleep asking themselves why someone did what they did, what it might mean, and what to do about it. Very true. All this overthinking isn't just for their own benefit. Campaigners, especially turbulent ones, that's me, are very sensitive and care deeply about others' feelings. A consequence of their popularity is that others often look to them for guidance and help, which takes time, and it's easy to see why campaigners sometimes get overwhelmed, especially when they can't say yes to every request. While emotional expression is healthy and natural, with campaigners even viewing it as a core part of their identity, it can come out strongly enough to cause problems for this personality type. Particularly when under stress, criticism, or conflict, campaigners can experience emotional bursts that are counterproductive at best. Yeah, that happens to me too. Independent to a fault. Campaigners loathe being micromanaged and restrained by heavy-handed rules. They want to be seen as highly independent masters of their own fates, even possessors of an altruistic wisdom that goes beyond draconian law. The challenge for campaigners is that they live in a world of checks and balances, a pill that they are not happy to swallow. Yeah, that is me in a nutshell. Okay, romantic relationships. Let's check this out. When it comes to relationships, there's hardly anyone around who's more excited than campaigners to share with their partners the bounty of ideas and eye-opening experiences that life has to offer. For people with campaigner personality type, relationships are a joyous process of mutual exploration and imagination, a chance to connect with another soul. Campaigners take their relationships seriously and are known for their uninhibited and unshakable devotion to the people whom they've committed their hearts. Excuse me. Campaigners have the advantage of irresistible charm when it comes to attracting a partner. Campaigners' warmth, excitement, and passion are simply alluring. In the dating phase, if campaigners can be said to tolerate such a formal process to begin with, they will show these qualities by showering their new flames with affection, and will do everything they can do to build a strong relationship by demonstrating their devotion and reliability by whatever means available. Long-distance relationships are quite common among campaigners, as they view physical distance as just another idea, no match for concepts like love. This gives them the chance to demonstrate their commitment both by staying true despite the physical separation and with overtures of effort to surprise their partners, crossing that distance on a whim. There are demonstrations of campaigners' mystery, idealism, and deep emotion, and such efforts often keep the flames of relationship burning bright. People with the campaigner personality type express these ideas sexually as well, exploring the physical with imagination and passion, viewing these times together as a chance to let their feelings for each other shine, sharing their love and affection. Campaigners will willingly experiment with their partners, even early in a relationship, but they can also be oddly perfectionistic, believing that these physical acts are a representation of their deeper love, and as such should not be performed carelessly. This perfectionism is also a reflection of their sensitivity and their desire to not disappoint, and campaigners appreciate a well-placed compliment. Not everyone can handle the excitement, occasional neediness, and emotional ups and downs that this philosophy entails, whether long-distance or long-term, mystical or physical. Campaigners constantly explore new ideas and improvements, fantasize about future possibilities. In dating, this tendency to look at potential rather than present can be self-defeating, and their spontaneity makes it harder to stay focused on their end goal of a long-term relationship. If their partners aren't able to reciprocate these acts of excitement and devotion, campaigners will likely end up feeling unhappy and misunderstood. Campaigners go all in with their relationships, and if they fall apart despite their efforts, they can end up plagued with questions about why the relationship failed and what they could have done differently. Without a buoy, these thoughts can crush campaigners' self-esteem as they sink into depression. It's important for campaigner personalities, as with anyone, to remember that relationships are in all ways mutual interest, mutual growth, and mutual responsibility, and they can't be solely accountable. After a trial like this, campaigners may be reluctant to open up and commit, and it can take years for a partner to navigate their bewildering depth and intensity, falsely believing that campaigners' enthusiasm and apparent openness means that they wear everything on their sleeves. The reality is that the campaigner's spontaneity, the seems inconsistency, and erraticism that untrained eye sees isn't a product of flightless or lack of depth, but the opposite. It is a drive to express ideas about a mystical, all-encompassing energy in the confines of a physical world, and underlying it all is the uniting principle of love, expressed in many different ways, but unshakable and infinite at its core. You know, I really do believe those things. It's crazy. All right, friendships. As friends, campaigners are cheerful and supportive, always sharing and developing ideas, and staying open-minded, taking in others' thoughts and feelings. This warmth and sincerity makes people with a campaigner personality type masters of drawing people out of their shells, and as a result, they tend to have a huge circle of friends. As with other relationships, campaigners view their friendships as opportunities to express another angle of the universe, and tend to imbue potential friendships with that weighty and idealistic quality. More outgoing types will naturally gravitate toward them, but campaigners will also go to great lengths and be surprisingly persistent in their effort to get to know more reserved personalities. Their ability to tune into others and speak their language with the characteristic infectious enthusiasm helps them in this endeavor, and the allure of mystery that reserved types, especially introverted intuitives, bring to the table will keep campaigners intrigued for years. These personality types may never be able to reciprocate the breadth of the human interests that the campaigners present, but they do appreciate the campaigners' effort. But campaigners' interest in others can be a double-edged sword. This pure idealism comes with certain expectations, and too often campaigners hold their friendships in an unrealistic light, expecting them to keep up with the constant flow of ideas and experiences that they consider integral to life. campaigners put their whole hearts into their friendships, and it can come as a shock for them to find that their friends aren't the flawless titans that they believe them to be. Whether it's simple social fatigue or a focus on the physical and the practical instead of the mystical, people with a campaigner personality type can find themselves disappointed by what they see as a lack of substance beneath the surface. Campaigners tend to get deeply involved in others' lives, going to great lengths and efforts to be selfless, caring, and supportive of people they are, and all the while forget to take care of themselves, both in terms of basic needs like financial stability and rest, as well as more emotional needs like mutual understanding and reciprocation. Campaigners' personalities tend to give much more of themselves than most are often capable of giving back. This sort of imbalance isn't sustainable, as seemingly one-sided generosity often leads to criticism and resentment on both sides. Luckily, campaigners are open-minded and sincere enough in their friendships and connect with and understand even their acquaintances well enough that they recognize that not everyone expresses themselves in the same ways, and that's okay. Their sensitivity may be too challenging to play with more critical and argumentative personalities, such as strongly expressed thinking and judging types, but they do appreciate, even cherish the company of most anyone who appreciates theirs, and the adventures and experiences they have together are the stuff a good life is made of. Okay, let's see, parenthood. If there's anything that makes campaigners great parents, it's the sense of wonder that they have for all things new and beautiful, a sense that they will be able to share with their children every day as they learn to grow. Throughout their children's lives, campaigners provide a combination of almost overwhelming love and support and an unstructured environment revolving around freedom and creativity. This in no way means that people with a campaigner personality type will simply leave their children to their own devices without guidance. Rather, campaigner parents want to share in their children's perspective, share in a world without bounds. Campaigner parents are playful and warm and love to see their children excited, playing in and experimenting with the world around them. It is likely that the campaigner parent will encourage this play and growth by suggesting activities and lessons. That's very true. Campaigners will embrace and encourage productive interest as they arise, sweeping away dolls and dinosaurs when interests shift to the oceans, and sweeping away the fish when tastes change again to the stars. I'll agree to that. Because this is all positive, right? It's not like, campaigners beat their children brutally. Of course not. While they often enough recognize the value of structure and predictability, campaigner parents are unlikely to have the heart, or as they may see it, the lack of heart, to establish these limitations themselves. They may need to depend on their partners to provide some necessary guidelines and discipline from time to time. But campaigner parents will always have the advantage of their open-minded and empathetic nature, making them not just parents, but friends who their children feel comfortable confiding in. I hope so. That is my goal. They needn't always depend on their children's broaching the subject either, as campaigners have a natural skill in spotting emotional disharmony or physical discomfort in others. As their children approach their teenage years, all this emotion and attention can start to cloy, and their children may seek a more private independence. This can be a challenge for people with a campaigner personality type. They have strong emotions and invest those emotions heavily in the things and people they care about. While they may not be big on using proven ideas, campaigners do like to see whether or not their ideas work. And this applies to their thoughts on parenting too. As their adolescent children withdraw, they leave an unresolved mystery that can last for years, leaving their campaigner parents wondering if their ideas on raising their children actually result in happy, independent, and creative adults. So there's one little thing in there that I don't agree with, so let's do this. I believe in privacy. Now, this may just have a lot to do with my own personal experience, but I'm very much with my kids all the time, like trying to teach them what privacy is. Because, in the modern world, it doesn't even exist, right? Privacy doesn't even exist anymore. So I'm trying to imbue that into them to say, hey, close your door. Enjoy your own private time when no one else is watching you. Lucky for them, so long as they raise their children with a sense of productive independence rather than an aimless, against-the-grain antipathy, campaigners will find that their children have developed a strong sense of self and self-worth, going confidently out into the big, wide world at their own pace and in their own style, knowing that they have both themselves and their campaigner parent to depend on. All right, career path. Can't I fly a helicopter and be an oceanographer who writes songs and cooks? Yeah, I mean, a couple of those would be different, but yeah, I think I've actually said something like that. It's a big world out there, perhaps even a little too big. Campaigners are fascinated by new ideas, both in terms of development in fields they are already familiar with and with new subjects coming along. The trick for people with a campaigner personality type is to take advantage of this quality, this wonder with the magnificent breadth and detail of the world, and to use it to propel themselves further and deeper than others are willing to go. If there's a challenge campaigners face when selecting a career, it isn't that they lack talent or options or drive, it's that there are so many things out there that are just cool. Chief among campaigners' talents is their people skills, a quality that is even more valuable now than ever. Even in traditional analysis, sorry. Even in traditional analysis strongholds, that's how you say that, right? Traditional analysis strongholds like engineering, analysis, and the sciences, campaigners' ability to network and match the communication styles of their audience means that even as they explore new challenges on their own, they will be able to work with others, explore others' perspectives, and glean new insights into their projects. Much of modern process stems from incorporating other studies into typical disassociated fields, and no one is better equipped to merge broad interest than talented, energetic, and future-minded campaigners. And while thinking types may be better at applying logic to systems and machines, people with a campaigner personality type are able to apply that same logic to human interactions and networks, using their exceptional social perception to find out what makes people tick. This lends campaigners a solid foothold in any human science or service, from psychology, counseling, and teaching to politics, diplomacy, and detective work. All of these fields have another important similarity. They are in constant development, shifting, presenting new angles and new approaches. It's simply not possible to be good in these fields and content with the way things are, and this is where the campaigner truly shines. Where campaigners do not shine is in a system of strict regimentation and hierarchies such as military service. Campaigners thrive on the ability to question the status quo and explore the alternatives. And if this is a quality that is not just underappreciated but actually frowned upon, this will not only make them unhappy, but it may even threaten their emotional stability. Repetition, predictability, boredom. While some sentinel types may appreciate predictability and clear hierarchies, these are not selling points for campaigners. People with the campaigner personality type need to feel like they're pushing boundaries and exploring ideas and should focus on interests and career that encourage them. Many more career options satisfy these needs, and not just the scientific ones. Writing, journalism, acting, and TV reporting all give campaigners a chance to explore something new every day and stir the pot a little while they're at it. It may come to pass, though, that the best way to forward the campaigner's personality is to establish themselves as entrepreneurs and consultants, blazing their own trails and taking on whatever project is most fascinating. So long as they get to use their people skills, identity, and achieve their own goals and inspire their colleagues and followers, campaigners will be happy. Okay. There are two basic things that campaigners seek most in the workplace: the chance to explore new ideas and the chance to conduct the exploration alongside with people who share their excitement. These qualities show through at all levels of hierarchy. Though, much like other diplomat personality types, campaigners would prefer that there be hardly a hierarchy at all. People with a campaigner personality type possess warmth, creativity, and an open-mindedness that makes them excellent listeners. If these qualities are recognized by their employers, they will always be able to count on the campaigners' employees to be innovative and boost morale. Campaigners are growth-oriented, and as subordinates, they'll impress their managers with their creativity and adaptability. People with a campaigner personality type are excellent listeners, able to analyze and understand others' perspectives effortlessly. It's perhaps this quality that most makes campaigners intolerant of micromanagement. The way they see it, they understand what's been asked of them, and all they require is the freedom to accomplish their task. If this need isn't met, managers may find a quickly stressed campaigner subordinate. That's true of me. To a certain extent, though, some direct management is often necessary, as campaigners are notorious for letting their attention slip from one project to the next before they've dotted the I's or crossed the T's. Campaigners love exploring new ideas and learning new things, and once something becomes familiar, its allure starts to fade. But if managers are able to maintain a spirit of guidance and camaraderie, I looked at that word and thought, what the fuck is that? Oh God! But if if managers are able to maintain a spirit of guidance and camaraderie instead of bossiness, they will find loyal and devoted contributors in their campaigners' subordinates. That's all true of me as well. Campaigners are people, and as far as the workplace is concerned, this quality shows through best among colleagues. More than just coworkers, campaigners view their colleagues as friends, people who they take a genuine interest in, providing support and cheer when they're down or stressed. People with a campaigner personality type are warm and optimistic, always searching for and usually finding win-win situations for everyone. Brainstorming among equals are campaigners' forte, and they listen to different viewpoints and suggestions not just with tolerance, but genuine excitement. Their ability to relax and have fun will always make them popular around the water cooler, but what sets campaigners apart is that they can transition that popularity into natural leadership, instinctively picking up on colleagues' motivations and pulling their teams together, pushing them forward towards whatever truth they've been tasked to find. Campaigners are not great fans of heavy hierarchy and bureaucracy, and this is most evident when they take on the role of manager. As managers, campaigners' personalities behave much as they do as colleagues. They establish real friendships and use their broad popularity to inspire and motivate, taking on the role of leader working alongside their subordinates rather than shouting from behind their desks. Campaigners will tend to believe in the concept of altruistic motivation, the idea that things are worth doing for their own sake, not because of some convoluted system of punishment and reward. Unfortunately, not everyone buys into this philosophy. Challenges arise when faced with subordinates who actually prefer to be closely directed with clearly defined objectives and timetables, who are just doing their job. More challenging still are those rare moments when a reprimand is simply necessary. While campaigners prefer to meet dissent with an open ear and to use their excellent capacity for sensing mood and morale to preempt such an act to begin with, sometimes the carrot and the stick are necessary, and using them is the biggest challenge for the campaigner personality type. But campaigners' capacity for adjusting their communication to most any style will always shine through, helping to smooth things over and adapt to the needs of the team. So, the conclusion: few personality types are as creative and charismatic as campaigners. Known for their idealism and enthusiasm, campaigners are good at dealing with unexpected challenges and brightening the lives of those around them. Campaigners' imagination is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Yet, campaigners can be easily tripped up in areas where idealism and kindness are more of a liability than an asset. Whether it is finding or keeping a partner, staying calm under pressure, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or making difficult decisions, campaigners need to put in a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. What you have read so far is just an introduction to the complex concept that is the campaigner personality type. You may have muttered to yourself, "Wow, this is so accurate, it's a little creepy," or "Finally, someone understands me." You may have even asked, "How do they know more about me than people I'm closest to?" This is not a trick. This is not a trick. You felt understood because you were. We've studied how campaigners think and what they need to reach their full potential. And no, we did not spy on you. Many of the challenges you faced and will face in the future have been overcome by other campaigners. You simply need to learn how they succeeded. But in order to do that, you will need to have a plan, a personal roadmap. The best car in the world will not take you to the right place if you don't know where to go. We have told you how the campaigners tend to behave in certain circumstances and what their key strengths and weaknesses are. Now we need to go much deeper in your personality type and answer why, how, what if. So here's where the money comes in, right? How much does this cost? The knowledge is only the beginning of a lifelong journey. Are you ready to learn why campaigners act in the way that they do? What motivates and inspires you? What are you afraid of, and what do you secretly dream about? How can you unlock your true exceptional potential? You know, when it starts talking like this, it's like Dianetics, you know what I mean? We're getting off in the weeds. Our premium profiles provide a roadmap toward a happier, more successful, and more versatile you. They are not for everyone, though. You need to be willing and are able to challenge yourself to go beyond the obvious, to imagine and follow your own path instead of just going with the flow. If you want to take the reins on your own hands, we're here to help you. You notice how they turn this based on, all right, we know who you are, so we're gonna write this in a way that is, valid for you. Okay, and I might be shitting on this unnecessarily, okay? But it's still fun. Academy. The life you were meant for. Hint, it isn't like anyone else's. Oh yeah, you're an individual. Okay, so I'm going through here now just to see where the money is. What big dreams can we help you reach? Long to make a difference? We'll help you find your individual strengths and passions and open your eyes to career possibilities. Stuck in a rut? Finally, it's always helpful to hear the paths campaigners explore. A unique opportunity to share your own story, interact with others' footsteps. Okay, so are you ready for this? Okay, where's the money? The premium profile, 259-page mega profile. Okay, what does it cost? Here it is. Here it is. The end. Campaigner Premium Profile, a 259-page mega profile for campaigners looking to solve the mystery of their own personality, from romance to career choices. Elementary, my dear Watson, $29. The Campaigner Academy, a premier profile. Ready for action? Get access to Campaigner Academy for an entire year and let you be your Jedi Master as you follow your dreams. This also includes the downloadable profile for whatever there is no Wi-Fi. The force is strong with this one. I don't know if Disney's going to be cool with that. Want to know what makes everyone tick? Get access to Campaigner Academy for an entire year along with premium profiles for all 16 personality types. These go to 11. Okay. So there it is. Risk-free money-back guarantee. Okay, these people love it. So take it for yourself. I mean, listen, we live in a capitalist world. Everything is for sale. Again, I'm not saying it's hard science, but what I am saying is this was fun. I enjoyed doing it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, hit that like button, maybe subscribe. Throw some comments down there. If you didn't agree with the crap that you were reading, or do your own personality trait and see what that does. This would require a little bit more digging because to me, this reeks of, I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe. Until next time, my name's JoeHova, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.